kama ujielewi. Yeah, you do what you have to do, but you understand what you really want for your country, because our country belongs to the future of our kids. And this is what the only part that is letting us down is the professionals. The professionals have decided to hide themselves in offices, and then they have decided to produce memes that says tungeachana na inchi to some good people, sijui wangefanya simutoke kwa hizo ofisi na tuchunge inchi yetu. Do you expect someone greenhorn from somewhere to come and take care of your own country? We expect the professionals now to stop staying at the cliff and show up in the arena, and all of us, we have to do something. We have to mar our sweat with the dust and ensure that we live at least as a better country. Just to management, we have to manage the process, even if we might not be able to do everything, because whether you sit in office, it's either you be eaten or you eat.
But how do you differentiate the two arguments? Because you're saying you're managing the process because you want to live a better country. Could that not be the same thought that maybe the president is having? That maybe he wants to manage the process of power to live a better country? How do you create that dichotomy between the two?
Because his statement contradicts. He contradicts himself.
Okay.
And then it is clear that he is targeting few corners. We only want our president to be fair. And fair means he leaves the country to us, the citizens, to decide the future. We have given him an opportunity to be the president for 10 years. The only gift he can give us is to ensure that he leaves office in a good legacy, a united country. Just the same way Kibaki did. He did not participate in the next general election. What he just did is he finished his term, and then he let the citizen decide. You know, the same thing that is going to happen this time, I will compare it to 2002. Mo had a preferred candidate, and then it went opposite. So the same case to this time again. Someone will have a preferred candidate, and then
things will turn out the way they want. Oh, KIPEMBE. Should the president manage his succession? Do you think he's going to succeed in succeeding himself?
I don't think the president is succeeding himself. You see, I fail to understand why the statement of we will not leave the country to this is why it's eating some corners. It's an ambiguous statement.
Okay.
It's not certain. It was not targeting anyone. Yeah. So I don't know why some people really feel at the dips. Because if the president said we will not leave the country to a reef, the president does not arrest, nor does he prosecute. Yeah, we have independent bodies that he may be the president, but there are bodies that do that kind of work of arresting and prosecuting. So I don't think he was targeting anyone. It was an ambiguity statement. And I don't think he's trying to force us to elect anyone.
Okay.
He may be quiet, as Kibaki was quiet in 2013. But of course, he had a preferred candidate.
Okay.
He may not have told us. But he had a preferred candidate who clinched the presidency.
Okay.
I'm sure Mheshimiwa knows it very well. That Kibaki did not go to the streets. He didn't have rallies. He didn't tell us. But the government had a preferred candidate. When the government has when they have a preferred candidate, they don't have to tell us. I mean, you're given space to do whatever you want. You're given state machinery. You're given the state information. You're given bodies like NIS to give you data and what have you. That is preference. But he may do the same for a candidate, but he will not campaign. And I'm sure if Unye was to campaign for anyone,
just to plug into a little bit, but the difference between Kibaki and him now, he already have a preferred candidate, and he's out campaigning for him. Now that's the difference. And
Has he
that
really
is where-
campaigned for him?
Yes.
And I've
In politics, politics 101, you just can just tell.
Don't you think Kibaki was campaigning for Uhuru in 2013?
No, he didn't. But this time, Uhuru has campaigned for someone.
Yes, come out clearly.
Yeah, it has somewhat come. It is even well known.
I mean,
Even you mentioned about the number plates.
Forget about Uhuru, the president. Uhuru is a voter, isn't it? He has a democratic right to vote for anyone he wants. Or after presidency, you don't vote.
You vote.
You have to vote. So, and if he'll vote for his preferred candidate. He has his own reasons why. About number plates, I don't think...
No, I think the good question is, to you, is it clear that the president has a preferred candidate?
I think it is clear.
Oh, good.
But now, that is, he has his own reasons why. As an individual, forget about president.
No, he's a national symbol. He shouldn't do that.
And so, being a
So
national
that-
symbol, you lose your.
You look at, for example, yesterday, United Nations offers some money through Ministry of Public Service and Gender.
Yeah.
Then the ministry decides to call a section of women leaders to be empowered on when to vie and what to vie, which kind of support they'll get from the UN, bipartisan. In fact, if there is a day the United Nations UN women scored below average was yesterday, and it needs to be addressed and be highlighted that they're interfering with the running of our country, is if they offer whatever support they offer through government and then it goes to specific corners. We won't accept. So those are the kinds of preferred candidates and preferred corners.
So you want to eat from a government that you don't support? Is that so?
Come again?
You want to eat from a government
No,
that you don't support?
I don't know why. It's not about eating. It's about United Nations not participating or being partisan of the internal affairs of our country. Okay, maybe you're not privy with the story. This is what happened. United Nations donor funds. They gave it through the ministry.
Yeah.
Then the ministry decided to call women who wants to vie for 2022 positions.
Yeah.
Then instead of the ministry calling from all parties, they decided to call only from few.
Yes.
And that is a very bad picture from a partner, external partner, coming in and trying to participate in a manner in which is not fair to all Kenyans. So such signals raise an alarm, and such signals will lead us towards wrong direction.
But is a problem the donor or the local convener? Who convened the candidates, the women candidates? Because if I come to your house and I tell you, okay, there I'm giving you bread.
No, you see,
then you decide to feed a few children. Who is the
donor
problem?
funds, they have a representative
Okay.
in every meeting. And in that meeting, they share notes. And then they can tell who has been invited and who has not been invited, even before you continue with the meeting. Even when you check the list of the people who have been invited, you just need to be assured. Even if you want to invite anybody to your house, you'll just know, why am I not seeing a section of leaders from even your party? Were you invited?
We weren't invited.
Yes, that is where you as the SG of the party, you need to be the first person to complain that women from your party who wants to vie were not notified, or they did not communicate to you. So you will go to the field and participate in an election whereby some of the players are more preferred than the other. And now we need you and the rest and the rest of the SGs of different parties to come out strongly on this and condemn the UN women. Because you have women in the party who needs to be supported. Yeah. So that is where they actually scored below.
That's
And immediately after here, you have the right, and I will request you to write a letter to the UN women and tell them whatever they did, they are going to affect our internal processes in our country.
Yeah, but it's great info. But I don't think there is any executive power in that. That's just some donor was trying to.
No. Because I'm privy with the information.
There is
Just,
executive power.
yes. Just rely on my intel because I'm a fellow Kenyan.
Yeah, the one who usually called fellow Kenyan.
Yes. I'm a fellow Kenyan and I support you because I want us to support the country.
Great.
So, KIPEMBE, do you think then the president is going to succeed on the system? We've talked about a system. Do you think then there's going to be a success on that side to decide where the election is going towards 2022?
We are a very democratic country. Of course, there will be a great impact. But you see, as the country grows older, people lose that touch and the fear of the president. So there will be an impact. The president, of course, is a leader, is the national leader, and is a leader of the mountain. Of course, he has an impact. He has his own people. He has followers. No one, even Kibaki has still his own followers. Yeah. So of course, there are people they are waiting for the president to tell them which way to go. So there will be a great impact from whoever the president will prefer to support.
Okay.
It may not be like it was a few years ago, whereby if you have the support of the president, it's a confirmation. But you can't really assume that there will be no impact. It may not succeed, or it may succeed. About the thing to do with deep state, deep state is a creation of people. You assume power, and you possess it, and you say, I am powerful, and you become deep state. There is no position in government that is called deep state. You just assume. You become a power broker, and you call yourself deep state. And this young generation, the Y generation of technology today, those are rebels. Yeah, they don't want to hear anything to do with this deep state and the old generation. So, is how the leaders will package themselves, how you sell yourself to the people, and your history as well, very important, the precedents that will entice people. So it may succeed.
It may succeed?
It may succeed.
Do you think it will succeed, Gideon?
No. The state is at they've been trying to run a victory. I can compare it with an idiom called Pyrrhic victory. There was a king of Pyrrhus who had to go to battle with Rome. He won a little bit, but with a devastating toll of losses. And the state right now is in the state of Pyrrhic. In this way, they try to win, but they lose. With and the loss they are actually accumulating is so heavy on this deep state to a point there is no need of actually proceeding in that direction. Because, let me tell you, the birth of wheelbarrow happened when the country was locked down na viboko zikaachiliwa, pilipili ikatupwa ndani ya Jubilee. Murkomen out, Susan Kika out. Then there's no rallies. Then we decided now what we are going to do is just ask some youth to come and say hi to their future president.
Then came Jubilee Asili.
Yes. Then they came in with, what do we come with? They do not come with V8s and they do not come with other things. They came in with mukokoteni and wheelbarrow. And then in the process of sharing ideas is when the birth of wheelbarrow came in. And the deep state were busy trying to win by removing people from positions and threatening people, intimidating them, and doing all sorts of kind of things. And then they introduced the BBI. The BBI costed Kenyans a lot of money in the expectation of they are going to win. The whole process went on and then it failed. It is so painful to the deep state to a point right now, whatever they are trying to do, they are not going to win. Because you see the difference between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. William Ruto is like commando. If you mnapenda zile movie, una commando. Ile ukiambia vijana commando. Yeah, he's someone, even if you push him from the moving helicopter, he will know when to jump. And when he jumps on water. And when he gets to water, we are there to resuscitate him and we proceed with the remaining journey. Hata akisukuma kutoka ndege, akifika chini tuko na mawilbaro tunambeba. Because we have a mission, we are synchronizing with his mission and our mission. Because we want to ensure that the deputy president gets to be the president of Kenya. Not because he is a certain type of man in this country. But he's someone who carries the vision. He's like Gideon in the Bible. You see Gideon in the Bible? You know, Gideon in the Bible, when he was chosen to carry the burden of the Israelites, you know what? He was busy winning the chaff in his home backyard. Then an angel appeared to him that you have to do this. Then he had to put up an army. He put an army of 3,000. God told him, no, 3,000 are too many. He put up another one, 700. He told him, no, reduce. This is too many. He told him, how do you want me to reduce these ones? And again, and I've tried. And then there are 22,000. He ended up reducing to 300. And in those 300, only one trumpet. Only one trumpet. And he won 300 against 22,000. So in this case, they started as many. The deep states think they are 22,000. And then William Ruto has his 300. And with these 300, he has managed to terrorize the entire deep state to a point they have to rewrite their mission and their vision and their plans. And then they had to be ashamed on every move they are trying to make. And it is to them, they have accepted that it is two-horse race. And he has even trying to request the boardroom boys to be meeting all the time. Because
what are the boardroom boys?
Boardroom boys wako tuko roundabout. Wanazunguka tu roundabout. They don't know which direction to take. And then they are waiting to see if they are going to join which direction and which direction. And I'm happy with Mudavadi. Mudavadi has declared and said, you are not going to make us call us at night and tell us to go this direction. Because it is demeaning and it is an abuse and trying to abuse leaders like him who has been in the space for a long time. And then you tell them you continue supporting someone who refuses to accept a win every now and then when an election has happened. Tangu niwe mtoto, hata tangu sisi wote tuko watoto, yeye bado anataka kiti ya urais. Until the day maybe even me I'll be vying for the same position, I'll still find him. Hello. So as we speak right now, we know there's nothing like deep state beyond. I think the deep state to us is the conviction, the deep conviction within yourself that this is the direction you want to go. Deep state have been there before. Even when you look at even US, Trump with the entire deep state, alienda nje. Angalia. So these days we compete with ideas. And the ideas is we want to see, you see, like a business like this or an idea like this thriving, employing many people, and then getting to somewhere, even exporting this skill across East Africa and across Africa. So that's where we want. That's where we're heading to as a country. Okay. So hiyo maneno hakuna.
Haiwezi itashindikana. All right. So MPURU, Kipembe,
yes.
Could the fate of BBI then be reflective of 2020? Because it's almost the same. The same people who are campaigning for the document, the same people who are now amalgamating themselves towards 2022. Could what happened to BBI be a reflection of what will also happen in 2022?
But we don't know what happened to BBI because we didn't go to the ballot. So you don't know if it would have lost or if it would have sailed through. I don't think it will be the same because we love realignments, of course. We are like 9 months to the general election. So we love so many movements, which is normal in any democracy. We love people coming from this side to their side, So it may not be the same group of people that were supporting BBI.
Okay.
That it will not be this against this. It's going to be a different game. It's going to be a different game, completely a different game. Okay. Nobody has a monopoly of people. Yeah, it's how you package yourself, who convince the people. All these things we talk, we are politicians. I mean, my brother, you can't achieve everything you say. Forget about 6,000, forget about bottom up. You will try, implement the idea, but it's not going to be a bed of roses as we promise the electorates.
Okay.
And that is what we should tell them.
Okay, Rad.
Okay, Rada, it's not going to be as we say it. Yeah? You can't achieve 100%,
Okay.
but you can try implement on your idea.
Okay.
Okay? Because when you're writing your manifesto, you tell people what they want to hear. Because all you need is their votes. But you can't say, this government is going to change the country 100%. It's not possible. It's not possible.
If you look at how, for example, the Mount Kenya Foundation were able to quickly edit their statement, it can tell you how whoever thinks they are deep are so terrified. Because you see, in the past, there are people who could dismiss, for example, a party like, a young party like MPURU, and say, nyi huwezi enda pahali. But it is the realization of everyone in this country that it is possible to drive an agenda, convince people, and they will support it without being influenced by who you are.
But with money, you can drive an agenda, my brother.
No, the BBI had money, but it got resistance, and that is. Do you know why money won't be a major factor like in the past, in the generation you are heading to, because everyone is enlightened. Surprisingly, that's the same way I told you. These days, unapelekea mtu pesa anakwambia sawa, tutakula lakini sisi tunajua penye tunaenda. And that is actually very brilliant. People are informed to a point they know what is right for them, and they can demand for what they want. Even if you tell them whatever or try to coerce or bribe them, they will stick to what they really want. And that is a wave that is going on across Africa. Same case to South Africa, they are demanding for economic freedom. Same case to our conversation now, we are demanding economic freedom. Every corner, they are demanding for.
I think it's gonna be. It will not be that way, because money is absolute power, and the deputy president has introduced the most expensive election. Okay. We will have the most expensive election because it changed the narrative. It changed it completely. Completely, the game is changed the game. Politics was not this way. You can't call people, tell them pigeni foleni hapa, and give them money. And once you do it that way, everyone has to follow suit. Yeah. So money is absolute power. Yesterday, Jimmy Wanjigi was at Kasarani Gymnasium with more than 1,000 students. I'm sure if elections were today, those 1,000 students will not vote for him. But they were there at Kasarani. Why were they there? Jimmy Wanjigi is not the best politician. He cannot articulate issues. Yeah. They were there because of the pocket. People are hungry. Young generation is depressed.
Ja ni mingi.
Kitu ile iko na nguvu ni mfuko, bro. So without pocket, you forget about 2022. You will sell your ideas, you will bring your bottom up, you will bring lakini mfuko. And that is why I told Raya. I told me, I'm not vying. I will not be in the ballot. My work is to clear people as a SG and to sponsor as many candidates as possible and to make sure I get members of parliament. Now, I told people the other day that Raya haina huruma. Raya watakunywa hadi maziwa ya mtoto.
Na wamwacha akiwa njaa.
Sasa Raya watakunywa maziwa ya mtoto, bro. So there's more power in money than even information. They don't care also.
Don't care about the policies.
Now I think he's bringing out a very interesting point.
Yes.
But remember, you said they will eat your money and then they go. Not all of them will have voted for Jimmy.
It is very true.
Yes. That's why I was telling you, these days, it requires more than just money. You can call everyone, but if you don't have an agenda to convince a smart young man
to lie to them, to lie.
No, it's
because
not
even bottom up is just lies.
No, it is
not
not
lies.
It's
It's like laptop issue, bro.
This
Anyway, he'll try. Let me tell you what happens. It is you sell your idea, you will not implement it, but
it has to be smart idea.
It has to be a smart idea.
Good.
Whoever
Because
is smart, whoever is a big liar than the other.
No, it's not. It's actually it's not.
And I think
The word is
the biggest liar.
the word is the one who gives more hope than the other is going
It's all
to
the
be
same.
given
So politics is a
opportunity.
game of selling hope.
Selling hope.
It's selling hope,
Yes.
Okay.
but you will never eat that hope.
And
They want food for today.
And I like the way we can see things differently. You see Jimmy as someone who is not able to do things, but I see Jimmy as a very smart Kenyan.
Yeah,
He's too
he's a
smart
smart Kenyan. He's a smart business person. But you see now, that is not what people want to hear. Watu raia wanataka cinema. Listen. You are a candidate of Forest, isn't it? People don't want you to go there in a suit and start telling them mimi nitafanya mwanasikiza. Watu wanataka wazimu. It is true. People want mad people.
Who is your preferred candidate? Who is your Popeo? Which presidential candidate are you supporting?
No, I'm even vice president myself. So far, anyway, we don't have a favorable candidate. We are still consulting.
Umeruka baba tena haraka aje.
Hapana.
Ulianza na baba sasa umeshahama. Hapo umesikia ground.
No. Umesikia ground. Sijasikia ground. Unajua siwezi sema kwa mimi labda mimi kibinafsi. Unajua iko tofauti yangu Rogers Kipembe SG wa NOPEU na kuna mimi sasa.
Okay, Rogers Kipembe ako wapi?
Mimi kivyangu bila sio kwa niaba ya chama. Kibinafsi mimi niko pande ya Jakom. Hii nimesema mara mingi. And you know it.
Yes. Nimeshangaa umeruka baba.
Symbol of the party. So you need to decide.
Now you hear now he is
you're the symbol of the party.
I'm not the symbol of the party.
You need to be SG is the symbol of the carrier of the vision of the party.
You see now.
Because if the youth of
you need to give me a chance to talk on behalf of myself.
Abana,
Speak.
as long as you're the SG, your ambition unawacha huko. You speak for the party. So whatever you're trying to tell us, you're giving us hints.
He's giving us hints of the party.
Yes, or he's trying to woo the other side.
All in all, what I was telling you is that people, the electorates, they want to listen to mad people. They don't want serious people like Jimmy.
So who are you trying to brand mad?
No, they want cinema. Like yesterday, you saw that old house for that mzee. That was written bottom up hotel in the morning. Uliona jioni tena jamaa amepanguza.
Apanguza kaandika nini?
Amepanguza. Sasa unaona sinema kama hizo ndizo raia wanataka. Such things. Yeah?
Hajapanguza lakini chenye nasema ni
No, ule ndio neighbor wake ule.
Hapana, huyo amekuwa Nairobi, amengangana kufika hapa.
So unaona ule mzee alitolewa kwake, akaambiwa hapa tunapaka leo tunapiga sinema hapa. Yeah? Sinema ikachorwa sinema lakini wakasahau kupanguza pale chokaa pale chini. Jioni ikapanguza. Jamaa akachukua elfu ngapi? 10. Sasa hiyo sinema ndio raia wanataka. Ni vile ile ya jana iliflop, ni kama ile DP alibebwa na Willy Baro, vile iliflop. So such things watu wanataka vitu.
So what happened in Kisi Gideon? Is it true that Kipembe is saying that that was painting done in the morning?
Okay, before I answer that one, even PLO actually divide for a city here in town.
Yes.
Now akapewa kidogo. It's true. There's being a professional and being and doing politics is very local.
About Jim Nambaru.
Yes,
he was maybe the best candidate.
Yeah, it will be. So politics is very local and people have their freedom to elect whoever they want to. Now, for the case of Kisi, Kisi, that gentleman had the bottom up kitambo. And it was not edited or anything. If there's anything that was just maybe tried to be touch up. Yes, it's just needed to, because you've seen this time there's a bottom up hotel around here and I'm going to have a guest. You just decide to try to be neat. It's just normal. When you go to that same village, they will tell you alianza kitambo. Neighbor mwenye amekaa Nairobi.
Ama hata wewe Kipembe umetuletea sinema.
Ama
Umechukua jamaa Prestige. Ukaambia anaitwa nani? Kaza anaitwa Nyakundi.
You see, another thing is how can we believe it is even that way? Kama si maybe ni edited. Now umeona vile watu wana spin propaganda.
Yes.
Propaganda. So if
No,
we
it's
go
no more. There's nothing wrong with painting in the morning and repenting in the evening. As far as you get something at the end of the day. I'm telling you, what is constant is mfuko. Even if you paint and repent, and tomorrow you write Jacob chairman here, you get something. That's what people want.
As an SG and as an opinion shaper, I will expect us to actually drive a conversation on the other side, not participate majorly on what we've seen in social media and the rest. It is our duty as the leaders of the country, like you and me now. Whatever vipindi is going on, all what we're trying to do is at least let's take take the conversation to another level and see the bigger picture. So that we may be able to guide the conversation. Because already what we are participating in right now is a conversation some people actually tried to make us believe. But since this is our country, all what we can just say is this. The story of that village and that woman and from their confession is when they lost the job, they decided to start from...
Have your phone on silent, Mr. Mpu.
They decided to start from bottom. And that old man actually confessed and said, niliambia mama, wacha tuanzie huku chini, tuanze na chai na mandazi. And then...
Ndio tufike kwa nyama.
Ndio tufike maneno ingine. And then the people were excited. And it is a sign of hard work's pay. And when you do what you have to do diligently and hard work, one day, one time, something good is going to come your way. From the mother's confession. Alisema, leo ni siku Mungu amenikumbuka. Thank you, Jesus. You see, when you hear a mother confessing such a thing, it's not in our position as opposition.
It's setting to
No. I don't want you to participate in that direction of conversation because we are leaders. Let's look at the bigger picture. We can choose to look at the negative and the other ones, but because
the merit and demerit.
But because of the viewers and the benefit of our business is to sell hope, and our business is to tell people what is good and what they need to do. I will encourage anyone. You see, this is a season where everybody is undergoing a lot of big reset because of COVID and challenges of economy. Even you today, you can go to the nearest home area, even if it is within Nairobi or in the village, and then you see someone trying to struggle. Just support them. That's all. That's the message. That you can improve your business from wherever it is to something. Because even Gerard, I don't believe the team here, you must have started somewhere.
Yes.
And you will wish to even grow to be to get somewhere. So that's the whole essence. That's all essence of the whole message of the Kisii yesterday. Right. And that's why we want to disciple as many people as possible and try to tell them you can start wherever you are and improve on your business. Because we don't want lazy Kenyans. We want Kenyans who at least can demonstrate an ability to do something. Because those are the ones we expect them to actually pay taxes going forward. I think that is the correct message we can do, but rather than us discussing.
All in all, Mosh, you know, even if we want to sell hope, and we have to tell people the truth. Which is all these things you're saying happening, most of them are vipindi. Let's not lie to Kenyans, bro.
It is okay, so long as it is a positive vipindi. Let's accept.
No, but kipindi, you know, is a lie.
It's not a lie.
No, let's sell hope, but tell people the truth.
All right, quickly moving forward from kipindi. Let's move forward from that.
I participated in Jubilee Manifesto, and I actually encouraged. I brought the idea of it's cool to vote for Jubilee because of internship and then higher education loans.
So where are the internships?
Good. And that is a good question. You see, I am here. And I was able to go across the universities and actually sell Jubilee Manifesto and said we are going to ensure that the internships are there. And as we speak, every year they are doing 3,200 interns. Even if it is a small number, but at least it has helped a section of Kenyans based on ability that is there and the economy of the country. So let men confess that they are going to do this. Then when they get to power, we can hold them accountable. That is why you demand for manifesto before an election. So let them continue doing the same, because we want to hold them accountable when they get to office.
Sawa, kila mtu akuja na kipindi yake.
Akuja na kipindi yake.
Tukivuka
tutauliza. Vipindi ni sawa. But let's at least try put them into real.
Wapi kipindi yako? Sasa hata leta ndio tukivuka.
Let's try and put them into real practice now.
Yes.
Yeah. Tuanze mapema.
Bro. Tuanze kuonyesha raia I will do kwanza saa hii. Yeah? Let's have real vipindi that will show the kind of person you are.
Okay.
We have these the fireplace meetings that you have in the night. Yeah? The National Governing Council, the what have you. You know, I fail to understand this statement of the UDA candidate that hii serikali itakuwa serikali ya mama nani?
Mboga
na mtu ya mkokoteni. Hiyo statement inakuanga moja na raia wa kawaida. Lakini bro, if you want to show that, hata kama piga kipindi, fanya mkutano hii ya wadosi usiku ile pale kwa moto, onyesha mtu mmoja akona reflector. Akae mtu wa bodaboda kwa sababu ile mkutano usiku ile ndio inaunda serikali. Usidanganywe eti kuna mama mboga kwa hiyo mkutano. Unaelewa? No, listen. Serikali sio ile inatengenezwa kwa uwanja mchana.
Okay. Ya usiku.
Now, I think I will differ with my friend because of that observation. Kiamba kiti ilitoka kwa mdosi ikaenda kwa mtoto wa mjane, and we actually campaigned for a young man. Kawanjiko was my youth leader of the county of Kiambu County, and I think it is a clear demonstration of who is of bottom up, if you want to put it that way, that regardless of where you come from. Another good kipindi is what you're just saying. So you said we want to demonstrate. Visiting that woman and empowering that woman, it's a demonstration that this is what we want to see. And if you want to collect testimonies across the country, you will. And when you come to Rift Valley, William Ruto has empowered as many youth and given them a chance to lead practical. Hadi wale hata hawezi kubalika ya kwamba wanaweza kuwa kitu. And when you come to that community or that environment, you will hear testimonies beyond just normal talk. In fact, it has become a culture that never despise anyone, even from who come from any kind of background. And it is clear, and all of us are rallied towards that direction. So when he says that in the next government he's going to set aside 100 billion, which is 100 million every constituency, I believe him, and it is making sense. You see the road that has been constructed upper. If we had decided to put that money in every constituency, I'm telling you, we wouldn't be crowding in Nairobi. We'll be opening up the county. And that's why different leaders have different ideas of implementing things. And to me, I like the idea of ensuring that in every constituency, even your own constituency, you'll be able to get enough funds, not just this youth fund yenye tunapatiana hapa kidogo, kama 300 million for entire country. We are talking about now 100 million in every constituency. 100 billion. It is achievable. Hata tukiangalia, when you do the mathematics, it's achievable. Instead of keeping money in ministries and the rest, let's give to the people. And that is a good confession whereby we can pray that may he get to presidency and then implement such an idea. And that's to me, I find it a very brilliant idea, and I find that is the reason as to why many people can relate. We can relate. Hii ukipiga hesabu uangalie tukipata 100 million, kama 100 million peke yake ya CDF has done more than what ministries can do. I'm telling you, the most managed fund is CDF. Wacha na ministries wako na wanalalia pesa mingi, but there's nothing much they're using. But now if we can now translate that another extra 100 million to the constituencies, my friend, we won't be, you do, my friends here will not be even in Nairobi. Wataka huko kwa village wakipanga kazi.
Alafu nifanye kazi na nani?
Na wanalipa taxes huko.
Ndio kupeleka wangu reserve, alafu nifanye kazi na nani?
No, wangekuwa nakuletea news kutoka village. Straight from home.
Okay.
That is a great lie. This is a great lie.
No, my
SG. You know, bro. You see, you can't talk about that we will have 100 million to give CDF one financial year. One financial year.
We are politicians.
One financial year of CDF is 100 million, isn't it?
Yes, per constituency.
Per constituency.
Yes.
So you'll add another 100 million.
Yes.
And you believe that is possible, but you don't believe 6,000 is possible.
Yes. Tufanye hesabu ya hii barabara imetengenezwa hapa.
No,
8 billion bana. Na hapa tunaongea
6,000 kila mtu ambaye ana kazi ya Azimio la Umoja, sio haiwezekani.
Nini?
6,000 shillings.
Hata wewe unajua, hata wewe huwezi, hata ukiwa mdosi huwezi patia hata your own brother. I don't want to actually, but in this conversation I don't want to participate majorly or and discredit much about someone else, but I'm trying to, let's ventilate good ideas without being biased and without being partisan. Unajua hapa tuko na opportunity tuangalie idea gani mzuri. Hata kama I'm going to differ, we differ in a manner ideally. Unaona? So that we set a good stage even to the listeners and to the citizen. Ndio wasikuwa kikuona hata wewe Pope ukilete kitu ya kwanza, the first position I need to take is to oppose you. It's good to listen. And then after listening tunaangalia, cause unajua ukisikia tukipiga hesabu, for example, tukipiga kijana anapewa 6,000 per month mwenye ana kazi. Ukidivide hiyo yote per day inakuja pesa ngapi? Inakuja 200 shillings. Sasa mbona ukae nyumbani na 200 shillings na hata ukienda mjengo utapata 400 shillings. Naelewa? Still we are challenging them that to go and come up with a better idea, but that one for 6,000 is not going to make sense. And then who is taxpayers ni nani? Sasa you will tax bitoka hapa hivi kidogo ndio uenda apatie mtu mwenye ametulia. And then what country are we breeding? We'll be bringing a lazy country. A country that is not going to work hard. Naelewa? So what we're just trying to say is let us compete with ideas. And it is free. Tuingie kila kona, tukuje na ma ideas mzuri, and then we will be able to buy. And if you think your idea ukikutanisha na hii, form coalition, form tengeneza nini na tuendelee. Because this is our country.
Kila mtu akuja na idea yake kwa meza, na mtu akuja na kipindi yake kwa meza, basi tuanze kupanga kazi pole pole. Now, it's a season of
before when I will want to challenge the SG here and the rest of the other SGs. Kindly set up youth leagues for the members of the party. That is the only opportunity you're going to help a young person who wants to join leadership. Now as they complain, wa participate, to be trained and train them. Kuna many donors. Chukua youth league, ita a donor or train on good leadership and how to participate. Because in this country, political parties, they are formed, but the organs within the party, they are not functioning. And if that could function, we will breed more leaders, because a party should be an opportunity, a seedbed to raise more leaders, at least train more leaders. So hiyo ni challenge na kuachia, because I am a product of the Youth League.
I know.
And I really want to see all parties also implementing the same.
All right, okay. Even before you go to what I wanted to go to, let's talk about young people. We have been having an exercise that has been running for 30 days. That is the registration by IBC. And IBC has come up with very scary statistics on how the young people are staying away from the vote. They are staying away from registering as voters. So technically, or actually it means that in the next year, in the next elections, 2022, we'll have very few young people participating in the elections. And look at it this way, the biggest chunk that we're going to see in 2022 will be young people who are going to vote. Why are young people staying away from the vote?
You see, I told you the young generation is depressed. There is an issue of mental health. They are unemployed. They are sad. Yeah. So they don't even feel they don't see why they should vote. They have no reason to. But you see, that is not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
It's not
see,
an
not
excuse.
voting
Is voting.
is voting for the wrong candidate, isn't it? And I've been really urging and sensitizing people, the young generation, to register as voters. But now they are not happy with the government, but they don't know.
You're far from your microphone, sir.
Not picking up, not registering as a voter is voting for the wrong governance. Yeah.
Not voting is voting.
Not voting is voting, and that's the reason I think why there are less than expected percentage of young generation that have registered as voters. That's my thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gideon, you are a young person. You've been mobilizing around young people. You've got an opportunity because to represent the same young people who seem not to be interested anymore in governance and government. And as they boycott the registration ballot, what are the consequences?
I think.
And why do you think they are staying away from it?
I have actually actively participated in mobilizing and checking the process, and I can tell you a few facts. At times we might blame the youth that they don't want to, but it is not. Some are not intentionally refusing to participate in the process. But I think one is time, and then another thing is the civic education by IEBC to try explain to them why is this process important. And it is a process which it should be done by everyone. At home, as a parent, you need to take your time and talk to your kids and tell them why this is important. If we only leave it to IEBC, we are not going to achieve. Because I have gone round and you find a certain lot wants to participate, but the BVI, not BVI, the IEBC kits are not enough. Then IEBC, the same time, when you try to ask them, why have you not covered this place, you find like 3 in a ward. 3 in a ward, and then IEBC does not provide enough transport. You find even the employees of IEBC are not able to cover a bigger area. So, and that is why you hear the chairman saying, we can't continue the exercise because they lack funds. It is true. It is true. They really need more money for them to actually do more. And when I approach youth, I approach youth because youth, I can categorize them into like 5 categories. There are certain youth who is inside, who understands the importance of voting. And that one is because he has been surrounded by people who have voted before, and they understand the importance of voting. They will definitely, by default, they will prepare to be voters. Then there are those who are very professional youth. They only participate on anything so long as it is everybody is participating. Ni nini waendelea leo, tunaenda kupiga kura, wewe uko nayo, mimi sina, it's cool to vote, atakuwa nayo. Then there's a certain lot of Kenyan youth who completely have no clue what is going on in his own country. In fact, the moment anasikia ni kama kitu ya serikali, anafunga masikio, anajua tu hiyo hata sihitaji. Akisikia ABC ni kama anaenda kuitishwa pesa, anapiga kona, anaenda. So there's that category. And then there's another category who doesn't care. Sipigi kura, hiyo ndio nini? When you try to explain even 10 times, haezi elewa. Ninaenda kupiga kwa nini? Ndio nini? They can't get conviction. Alafu kuna ule tu anakasirika. Akiona tu serikali inataka kupanga kitu yote, ana rebel tu. Hata ukimwambia achukue mawe sahi, anachukua mawe na anakupiga, anaweza kukufanyia anything. Hata sahi ukienda kwa Facebook comments, utapata those kind of categories of youth. Utapata nyinyi bure, pepe chama ni gani hiyo? Unalimwa. KETER, wewe ulikuwa wapi hiyo dunia yote? Hatukujui.
Umerudi sahi.
What have you done in parliament? Unaelewa? And you understand? So I think if IEBC and could actually understand the lot of the youth they are targeting, they will have prepared well and be able to target those, prepare messages for these different categories of the youth. And one day I know we are going to improve on that one. And it's not only Kenya. It is a global problem. Sometimes apathy happens because of different reasons and different different reasons. Then the low voter turnout right now to register also has been affected by, you see, a young person, you are at work, unatafuta unga. Ukitafuta unga, sometimes bosi yako aje kuruhusu uende uchukue kura. Hiyo ni ya kwanza. Yengine ni you cannot, many youth do not have IDs. And I blame watu wa registrar of persons. Yes, forms za ID in my constituency, they are only 200. Yes, I went and I have statistics. There are so many. You know, every year they need to be producing, at least in every constituency, they need to be having like 500,000. 500,000 in every constituency to take care of those who are crossing 18. You know, population ya vijana ni mingi. If we are 75.1% in the country, we need to expect that in every year tunapata kama 5 million who are crossing over to 18. So we need to prepare those forms. Awana hizo forms, how can you leave 200 pale? And then we need more funding on the registrar of persons. Wasikwe tu wakuwa designated in one area. Angalia. And then kuna tabia ingine ya Wakenya.
Last minute.
Lakini
round in kama they have not been shaken. Nobody was rushing. It ended yesterday. Nobody was rushing anyway.
Nobody was rushing. And then some corners, and then another thing is some corners are not interested in mobilizing their constituents because they don't have a presidential candidate. You see areas where you have presidential candidate watatia bidii. Lakini ile wengine hawana. In fact, I know of some leaders when they see you try to mobilize, anakwambia wewe wachana hiyo kazi. Wachana hiyo kazi.
But they also need the vote on the ground. If you're running for MP, you need that vote. If you're running for MCA, you need that vote. I mean, there's nobody who doesn't need that vote.
They're all leaders.
Unless you're not running like KIPEMBE, you're saying he's not running.
There is a lot also that depend on the older generation to vote for them. Lakini kuna wengine, I know there are some members of parliament who says, kura mpya hii ndio inakufukuza nyumbani.
So hataki kura mpya.
So hataki mpya. Na mimi I'm interested in the mpya because of one thing.
It's your constituency.
It is my constituent. And then another thing is, this is my season to participate in a process. And I'm in that gap. I need to at least train or teach few and disciple few so that when I cross over to be a mzee, those few I have trained, they can continue with the practice. You're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it for purposes of that responsibility. That there's someone young somewhere who needs to see how it needs to be done. And also I need to know how to do it better when I get there. Maybe I'll be the president of the country and I'll want such a thing. So it hits people differently at different stage of life. And I think you're in the democracy.
All right. Haya, as we are towards the end, pole for the calls that I've missed. Bunga la Mwananchi iko wazi 0779-800-010 or 779-800-010. You can call in and ask your questions or contribute to the debate or 779-800-010. Bunga la Mwananchi iko wazi. Meanwhile, ndaangalia comments hapa. Naona Thomas Ochieng anasema GOK should register young people for employment first and second as voters. Revolution by the youth is coming soon, and very soon if they apply don't take center stage of the GOK policy. David Ngatich, it is wrong to assume the youths are boycotting the registration. They are trying to sort out their lives. They don't have the times, and it ought to be a continuous process to allow for registration. Thomas Ochieng, Vision totally understand. Bitok, what is the point of giving 6K to a poor person, but when they get sick they pay thousands in health bill? Leaders are not addressing the real issues facing Wanjiku, and voters are tired. Okay, Vision Bitok, tell MPURU, while I agree it's not possible to change Kenya 100%, heading to the right direction in matters economy, employment, health, fair taxation, and access to justice for all is critical. Okay, if KIPEMBE is detached from the ground, he is one of the boardroom boys. Okay, who think the money grants them authority to speak for the Kenyan. KETER is a preacher peddling misinformation as facts. Okay. There was a change. Sada. They tell MPURU money is not absolute power. Concise policy properly explained with knowledge and informed voter is the real power instead of propaganda against bottom up and DP cell is agenda. Blessed Frank, morning GB. Good unpreparedness and a lack of funds by ABC jeopardize elections of 2022. Good question. Could it? And I think the chances are very high that it could. Atanas Achochi, Bitoka, I'm watching your show from diaspora asking Puri, where is the youth fund and who is benefiting? Okay. Haya. Salanyeti kutoka pale Wangwana, anajua pata class ni real time. Sio kesho, leo hii. Alright, definitely good morning. General kindly asking Puru Junior, should the government be biased? Should they select or push for its own president, or should it be impartial? Okay. Haya. Bunga la mwenye nchijambo, saidia simu hapa Wangwana. Bunga la mwenye nchijambo.
Ni aje?
Viti sana mambo.
Kwa sana salamia NOPEU na
sasa manzalimia nani?
NOPEU, unajua jamaa rafiki yangu sana kwa Twitter.
NOPEU wako hapa anasema wote wakwenda nyumbani. Fagilia. Nifagia side B kina Wanjigi.
But unajua NOPEU? Wakati alilo zile pati yake bwana alikuwa ametisha sana.
Ametasa hii kijana town.
Alikuwa ametisha, tulikuwa na high hopes, lakini sasa by elections ziliwekwa bwana hatukuiona hata moja.
Muulize yuko hapa.
So ile kitu naweza ambia NOPEU I know he's still young like me So ile kitu naweza mwambia, naona hii nasikiaga watu wengi wanapuuza hii maana hafla. Of which ukienda kwa ground hata mahali niko. Hii hafla nation bana ina resonate very well na watu wengi sana na inakata across the board. Because even hata sasa hivi kijiji uongea na watu wa boda watu wanauza hii watu chini huko. Ina resonate na watu. So hii timu yake ambia wajipange pia watafute nini ya kuuzia watu sera. Si kupinga tu ile imeletwa. Hata kama yeye aseme yake ni gani. Tusikize. Tuweke sasa range. Tuone sasa gani which is better. But to say hii hata naona Ruto alikuwa kisi jana. Hata kama ni vipindi there's a message there. Unaambia mtu mahali umeanzia you can move from that place to another place. Hata wewe ulianza hapa pole encouragement. Hii ni hope. Ukiuza hope my friend. Hiyo ina sell vibaya sana. Because if you sell hope hata mtu wazile ana chakula kwa nyumba na umwambie chakula itapatikana. Huyo mtu atafika asubuhi kama hana chakula. Kana believe ya kwamba ikifika asubuhi I'll get food. So I think unless something happens hii story ya hafla hiyo ambia baba ajipange hiyo vitu anasema 6,000 hata sielewi inauzwa au people get that 6,000 wanatumia mpinu gani
afadhali angelipa
na baba alafu baba pia wenye anafanya campaign zake anafanya campaign nyingine inaonekana ni kama ana sponsor na state he's moving around with governors big vehicles big hotels no watu wa chini bana waenda hizo hoteli so NOPEU nilikuwa naona anakuja vizuri sana na alikuwa sawa sasa anaanza kujiingiza na wakora wengine huko wadozi hata kusaidia they don't even vote
kweli
na issue ya voter registration my friend watu wamechoka na serikali bana people they don't even want to listen ilienda polling station jamaa anakuambia amekaa the whole day watu wawili ama watatu wanakuja so, hata ukiongeza masiku huwezi make sense kama watu wakuji even if you had them even a million days hawezi kuja they're tired watu huko hizo wanaumia bana so NOPEU acha hiyo usijiingize kwa watu bana hao wadosi hii wanakuambia ati
asante sana rafiki yangu, thank you so much for calling in na having you. Asante sana. Bunge la Mwananchi kwa wazi wa 779-800-010 au 779-800-010. Bunge la Mwananchi liko wazi, nambari ni 779-800-010. Haya,
who is that young man?
Anasema anaitwa Aaron.
He's very brilliant.
Anasema anaitwa Aaron. Anasema wananchi wamechoka, sijui kama mmechoka ukweli.
He's a critical thinker.
Haya, MPURU ni mwana umetakuliwa kidogo, sijui kama uko na
hajatakuliwa. Ameambiwa tu.
Amesema yeye pia
ni mbiri. Unajua nauza statistics. Hapana. Hiyo ni ako na right yake kutafsiri penye chenye naamini. A research was done and it was noted that as a youth of this country, we don't identify ourselves with where we come from. It's very low. We identify ourselves with our interest. Ni kitu gani na kufinya. Ukienda hizi manyumba mingi hapa Nairobi, unapata watu wengi wamesublet manyumba. You don't sublet with someone mwenye ako na jina kama yako. Ama mnatoka sehemu moja. Mna sublet na mtu mwenye unajua huyu atanisaidia kufinya shida za Nairobi. So we identify ourselves with that one first, with our interest. And that's why Popeo is being challenged here that as a young person of this country, we really want you to be in that conversation. And when you're in that conversation, try to represent. And representing means that critical thinking, and your views should definitely be the views that is reflecting our constituent. Kwa sababu unajua wazee wanaenda watatuachia inchi, na sisi ambayo tuna receive their conversation, we need to receive the conversation and give them a good feedback for purposes of at least.
Hai, tuko na mungwana hapa. Jambo, bunge la mwenye nchi. Bunge la mwenye nchi. Bunge la mwenye nchi, jambo. Good morning. Ya mpotelewa wapi? Hai, tumsubiri arudi. Gideon, wale maliza.
Oh yes. And ile
tu. I'll keep interrupting you. Najua ni masaa yao ngona. Ndika ndako.
You see how we identify ourselves as the youth of the country. And if you want to see a future of a nation, you just look at their youth. Okay. And if you look at where we are right now, unaangalia kuna agitation flani. Kuna agitation flani. Mimi na Popeo, it is our duty to try to come up with the next solution of our fellow youth. If they are tired with government, what are we going to do? Or what are we going to add in our manifesto? Ndio tuweze kwa convince why the government is good. Ndio maana those categories of the youth I was trying to share. And then the government officials pia wanakuwa na challenge. They come up with program without public participation. So you find government iko na program iko hapa na vijana wako hapa, bridge hakuna. And you know they have the money, they are supposed to get closer to the youth or closer to the citizen. Lakini unaona wao wanatengeneza wanatoroka. They come up with a program wanatoroka. You know, even when we were coming in, we wanted there was an idea that we had thought about it without actually going through public participation. For example, merging the youth fund, women fund, and the rest to be one, and we call it Biashara Fund. I am telling you, I was for that idea. I thought we were going to have a youth bank. But when I went out and participated and I managed to hear from expert and the rest, I met with a very convincing argument. Mmoja akasema, unaangalia wamama wako na watoto na wako na mzee. Ukimwekelea chakula kwa sahani moja na akule na mtoto ama akule na vijana, nani atakula zaidi? Definitely mama atakula zaidi, because mzee atamweza kumsaidia, watoto wake waweza msaidia. Then we will end up if 90% of the money being taken by women, because they have a higher experience and the rest. So a youth argued that we want to have our own funds so that we compete with our incompetences and we learn pole pole as tukiendelea, kwa sababu ukituwekea chakula na walafi watakula zaidi kuliko sisi, na maybe tuta lose appetite, to lose hope. And it was an argument, and I'm telling you until today that the idea of Biashara Fund has not taken off. It has not taken off, and I agree, and I will not even allow it to take off again because of the conviction I got from the public. And since it is now, my work is to defend their position and their wish.
Okay. Hai. Uko na mambo Kipembe? Uko na maneno?
Mimi maneno, I think nimemsikiza huyo.
Sikio mungwana amesema urudi utese huko nje.
Shabik. Lakini as I told you earlier, there is a difference between business and politics. Yeah. I don't, there is no money in really politicking unless you are a power broker or you have nothing to do, you go taking handouts. So I'm a business person who is very busy with my companies. They may not see me active on politics every single day. Lakini bado chama iko imara. Yes.
Chama iko imara. Na itarudi kutesa. Haya. Ya mwisho. All right. It's a season of political defections. I'm seeing people are saying, oh, nimesikia ground. Oh, I'm listening to the ground. Before that, acha niangalia ngona wa Facebook. Nilikuwa nimetoka YouTube. Cleveland Otieno na kuona pale. DJ Cracky Tibet, asante sana. Daniel Korir, kuona Bishop Ball Patrick, the guy is bright, is speaking well. Abbas, what about you, those who criticize Ngata's manifesto and are not giving theirs? At the same time, they promise to change the country. Jeplapuri, that's good to see you. Mera na kuona. They can't fathom the people actually have the mind of their own. Okay. Ronald, let's my friend Zeke Chita, good to see you. Cleveland General Bito kindly inform on KIPEMBE that is right. That is right, that for power to trickle to Mama Mboga and Kokoteni people, it requires genuine leadership, and that is our prayers for DP Ruto. Okay. Roger Koske, greetings from Mediil, Eldoret Tapakaze too. Larry Kimonori, good morning, General. Be talked tuned in from Chasing Ken. Asante sana. Ask MPURU, we are still waiting to hear what NOPEU is selling. Show is halfway. Okay. Brother Sustain Bellard, good to see you. Manu keeps they have been using youth vibaya sana. Clementino, as a realist and Juakali person, the 6K per man is not possible, but I believe bottom up can work effectively only if Honorable Gideon and his ilk don't interfere once power is on. Okay. EK Birech, General Salimia, Gideon sana, I'm glad the champ has helped me push so many statements on the floor of the house related to the work that I do. Asante. Manu keeps, now that youths have woken up, then this issue should be articulated for a good time. We should encourage youth by using other youths. Okay. Daniel Korir, asante sana. Good to see you. Finally, guys, everyone is waking up and saying nimesikia ground. Jana nimeona signs and symptoms of Kate Waruguru crossing the board. I've seen also Ngunjiri from Nyeri has started a campaign. He's asking, in whose hands are we safe? Right. It's interesting because he has come out as a proponent of Raila Odinga, so he should have been in a place where he's asking questions. He should be telling us that he's supporting Raila Odinga. Now, the political defections that are happening in Puru, do you think is going to twist twist the scale of things as we are to 2022? Are they meaningful?
They're meaningful because you see there is the personal interest. Yeah. The issue of listening to the ground. You see, it is upon the leader to listen to the electorate. You don't go to this party because it has the best ideology. It is because of it's what you are told by the voter, and that is true. It may not be the right thing to do, but the truth of the matter is the electorate detects where you belong as a politician. So there will be a lot of realignments. Jubilee will suffer most. In fact, I think in a few months from now, even NOPEU will be a bigger party than Jubilee. We are not right now. So no, it's true. Jubilee will suffer most.
Yes.
And it's gonna bring a big change in outcome of the election. And I don't think a scale party like Jubilee will be the ballot anyway. But such realignments will be there. The ground will talk, and you have to listen. Otherwise, you go home.
Very fast.
Yeah, you go home. You don't belong to a party because it has the best policies or whatever. What the electorate will tell you is what you listen to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to go to parliament or you don't want to be a governor or a senator.
So naona ni kama ground itasema nini sana. Unasikia watu kila mtu akona masikio chini.
Unajua ground itaongea maneno tofauti kulingana na area. Unaelewa? Kama ni huko kwa mlima inaweza ongea lugha mbili. Kuna mahali pengine kama Nairobi hapa inaweza kuwa lugha mbili. So ni kulingana na vile wewe utaisikiza. Na kama wewe una mfuko wewe useme sitaki kusikiza ground nitanunua. Unajua kuna pia kwingine
kuna mahali ground inauzwa.
Kuna ground inanunulika.
Kuna unajua kuna watu saa hii watapigwa mnada mbaya sana. Itakuwa public auction.
Soko inakuwa kubwa. Gideon, what are you reading? Because it looks like you guys are cooking a lot of tea at UDA.
Yes, because you see, UDA is full of future inheritors of our country. So you find the ideas we are trying to put across are so refreshing and so relatable, and the carriers of the message we are also present. And the victory we are going to have this time will be a very fun victory. It is fun even to be in UDA. Even the narrative is easy to sell. The way our leader has crafted it, and we have assisted him to craft it, is so simple to a point whereby even someone from wherever they are, they can easily understand. Hata kama ako sijui upande gani anaelewa. Na politics is local. And since politics is local, unasikiza watu wao. Because unataka kurepresent hao watu. Unauliza unataka tuende wapi. Wakisikia tunataka join na ile team, then you just listen. Because they are the ones to determine. If you go against them and you don't have the better ideas, definitely watakuosha. Utachoma bet. Na ukichoma,
NOPEU.
unaenda home. So and I like the way you see uzuri ya manifesto ni kitu kila mtu anasoma. Watu wa mrengo wengine wanaweza angalia plan yetu na akiangalia plan yetu hata wao waende wangangane. But ukipewa leakage na ushindwe ku come up with a better idea, meaning that is the best idea. You know, bottom up si ati kitu imefichwa, ni kila kitu imeambiwa kila mtu. Hata kama competitor, you know, kuna watu wengine they are very good at modifying. Hata wamejaribu kumodify, waongeze nini, waseme 6,000, waseme hii. The idea in itself has beaten all the ideas that has ever existed. Even if it is, and it is as simple as just reminding you that tunataka sasa wewe maisha yako ibadilike. Na raundi hatutaki tujikumbuke sisi kama wenye tumefika. Tunataka hata wewe mwenye hujafika wewe ufike. Na tukupatie program na barabara ya kufuata. Yani leakage iko, lakini hakuna mtu anaweza crack kupata another better idea. Meaning it is the best idea of the season. Na going to 2022, it is so interesting. So interesting in this way, we are going to go to an election with a lot of joy, and we are happy because people can now make a choice between kuja wadosi na kukuja chini, ama sisi wenye tuko chini tupande juu. It's going to be fun. And I like the way Kenyans are reading the manifesto of Bottom Up. They are reading it so well to a point. Yesterday in Kisii, you find someone ameelewa hadi anaandika kwa hoteli. Mimi nilikosa kazi. Na nikaambia bibi yangu tuanzie wapi? Nikaambia acha tuanze hapa chini tupande juu. Tuanze na chai na mandazi. That as a political science student, I can tell you that message tells you that the marketers of Bottom Up have done extremely well, and the competitors are going to have our competitors are going to have a hard time trying to run another alternative narrative. Because serikali inakuja ni serikali ya wananchi wote, ya mama boga, mkokoteni, ya MPURU. Hata wewe MPURU karibu ndani kuna space.
Nasema aminios never.
Hata zile chama ndogo zenye ziko bottom up.
Let me tell you. Not even forget about the marketers of the idea.
Yes.
It is this side. They have the best orators.
They have the best salesmen.
What ya mdomo.
What was never.
Hii vingine ndio inakosekana pale.
Wazee.
Lakini what was sales?
Ndio.
Nilikwambia na baba nilikuwa nakwambia Gerald.
Yes.
William Ruto is a very good commander. Na hata ukimsukuma vile amejaribu kusukumwa kwa ndege. You know, si watu wote wanasukumwa kwa ndege watakufa. Kuna wengine watasurvive.
Okay.
Sasa huyu ni designated survivor wa Jubilee.
Designated
ni hata survive na hata tumemwambia yeye hata wakikusukuma namna gani ukitaka kuja chini tafuta kwenye maji iko. Sisi tuko standby. Ukifika tu kwa maji hivi tunakuja hapo tunakuvuruta.
Ninyi muogopi maji?
Hatuogopi maji, tunaingia ndani tunamresuscitate, tunamweka kwa wheelbarrow, tunafikisha the next destination.
Haya tukifunga mambo yako mwisho Secretary General.
No, maybe
Kisonga.
What I would tell people is as Mheshimiwa said, politics is local. Let's maintain it at that. It's fun. Yeah. We are here with our representative here in Parliament as the young people, and we may not be on the same side, or we don't belong to the same party, but all this is just interesting and it's educative.
Yes.
Let's maintain it at that. Nothing personal. And once you understand that is interesting and educative, then you will not put it into heart. No hard feelings about it.
Sema Madaka alisema keni kwa mapafu sika kwa kwa lungs
Kanaenda.
Ukipumua NOPEU.
So mimi tunaweza ambia tu vijana kitu moja is tukielekea uchaguzi ya 2022. Kijana yote usikubali kutumika. Enda kupiga kura na conviction. Enda tafuta the best idea kwa ballot na uangalie ni gani inakusaidia. Hakuna maneno ya kusema ati napigia sijui direction kwa sababu ni mtu yetu ama nini. Pigia idea. Kama unataka nchi nzuri, tupigie good ideas. So that whoever is going to get to power, we can easily ask. Kwa sababu tuwezi kuja tupigie kura manifesto mbaya. Kesho wakifika kwa serikalini, hawatataka kuimplement manifesto ya mwingine. So hii ni wakati wetu ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweza kuchagua chama ambayo itaweza kuangalia maslahi ya watu wote. Na tusitumike. Hiyo tu ni ombi langu, vijana tusitumike kwa siasa mbaya. Kwa sababu 200 100 haiwezi kukusaidia kama vile a good government program ingekusaidia. Ya kukuletea barabara huko karibu na kwenu, hakikisha uko na stima hapo area, hakikisha wewe mwenyewe uko na kazi, hakikisha ndugu yako ako safe pale popote alipo. Hiyo tu ndio mimi naweza ambia vijana, kwa sababu serikali inakuja na inaenda, lakini sisi tunabaki tuko tu hapa.
Haya. Asante. Murithi Joram anasema Mount Kenya kuna sauti mbili. If you are not in Azla Nation uko hapa na nyumbani. Alari tuwe, okay, na kuona anasema anauza shamba huko. Nilikuwa mimi Nairobi bana, tulikuja Nairobi kutafuta pesa. Sasa wewe kama unataka tukuuzie shamba, leta pesa. Utafute pesa, tafuta pesa na pesa. Haya, Clifford Otieno, by the way, is this MPURU bwana? Kuna jamaa anamlalamisha hapa anasema, lakini alisema alikusamea. Anasema pale inaitwa nini? Mbagathi. Amesema Mbagathi ama amesema wapi? Bunyala roundabout. Tukina amesema hiyo msama. Anasema ulikuwa unaendesha chopa kidogo ka fly juu yake. Anasema nataka apatane na wewe muongee maneno ya uchumi, anataka kuingia NOPEU ndio msonge pamoja. Honorable Masaki Samuel na kuona, I can see you this morning somewhere. We need tamaking allowance as youth. Any coin lost through corruption should be channeled to catering for this policy, allowing tamaking allowances for every graduate. Everyone should be given a minimum of 40,000 per month because it's the duty of government to create jobs. Government should take full responsibility. Ask those guys to sponsor such kind of bills. Tamaking allowance 40,000 per month. Okay. But the so-called youth, you people are banking on have not registered to vote. For us, we have been around and no one is going to lie to us the way the so-called youths are being misled, because we have been there, done that, and that's why we are left alone by the politicians. But I promise you, our voices will be heard on the ballot. Okay. Emanuela, don't give me fish, instead show me how to harvest fish. So this guy doesn't work for us. I prefer bottom up economy. Alright, sawa. Orba Masake Gerald, uko vipi? Salama sana ndugu yangu, karibu sana. Max Calvin, salimia my neighbor on KETER. Okay. Haya. Naona wote, it's been a pleasure having you guys. And I want to repeat the message that Gideon has given you, also KIPEMBE. KIPEMBE has told you, Siasa sio wadui. Politics. If you think these guys are going to get out of this room fighting, then you are in for a very rude shock. They'll be having tea and having a chat. So if you are Kenyan someone, you're playing politics toxic politics where you think you're going to fight your neighbor to give yourself a better position in politics, my friend, you're going to be wasting your time. So understand that your neighbor will be your neighbor after 2022. And when you need help, you'll not look for your MP or your politician or the president. You look for your neighbor who will be there to stand with you. And I can tell you this, in 2022, we'll have a president. We'll have a new president. That's a guarantee. And that president will be a Kenyan. And it will be a human being. It will not be a monkey. It will be a human being. The same guys you're seeing, it could be Kalonzo, it could be Mudavadi, it could be William Ruto, it could be Raila Odinga. Whoever will be president will still have a country that we need to build. Kama wewe ni kijana basi, unaweza kutumika kuanza kufanya mambo ya violence na kuvuruga wenzako, ensure that you're able to be peaceful and understand that the democratic process is not a source of enmity. Don't look at politics as platforms of competition, but as a platforms of opportunity. Kila mtu akuja na agenda yake, ukisikia hiyo ndio inakufaa basi, wekea kura. NOPEU ukikuja pale kwetu Wasingishu, tutamkaribisha, tutampea nafasi ya uza agenda yake. Watu huko wakisema NOPEU tosha basi, tutaheshimu, tutasema rais NOPEU na tunasonga na maisha. Kila tarudi hapa nipiga swali yangu siku ya tackle, nitasema tackle 2022 ya January ni itakuwa January, 2023 January itakuwa hapa, tutachapa kazi. Mahali wewe huko kama uko jua kali utakuwa pale jua kali pia. Muda hata president NOPEU atakuwa rais kwenye bunge, atakuwa pale state house na maisha itasonga. So don't put enmity into politics. Understand and respect every other person as a democratic choice, and they have the space to make their decision without being victimized. So siasa ikianza, tufanye siasa ya agenda na mazungumzo. For the first time in the country, we are competing against ideas and agendas. For the first time. It's not about nasa au ama tuko pamoja. So naona mkono moja imebaki ni abai. It's about agenda. So listen to the agendas. Listen to the proposal that have been given. If you find middle out works for you by Mudavadi, vote for it. If you think 6,000 and rural development by Raila Odinga works for you, vote for it. If you think bottom up works for you, vote for it. And then we'll come back again after elections in September and have a peaceful country, and we proceed from there. It's been a pleasure having you. Have a great day and see you again tomorrow on the Diaspora Edition. Watu wa Diaspora Edition tayari wako tayari. Onana nao alafu basi tuweze kusonga nao pamoja. Take care. It is a tackle and it ends now. Bye-bye.